for joining us. I'm Beth Jones.
And I'm Peter Dubois. First tonight, authorities have now released the identities of the people involved in the fatal crash in Steuben on Sunday.
A Maine State Police spokesperson says 18-year-old Chase Atwater of Steuben was driving on the Unionville Road about 1:30 Sunday afternoon when his vehicle came over a hill and went airborne. The spokesperson says Atwater lost control and hit a large tree on the passenger side. The passenger, who has been identified as 17-year-old Cole Merchant of Sullivan, died at the scene. Atwater was taken to the hospital with minor injuries. The cause of the crash is still under investigation. The spokesperson says, though it does appear speed was a factor in the crash, there will be a candlelight vigil to honor Cole Merchant and support his family. That is planned for December 17th at 6 p.m. at the gazebo in Sumner Memorial Park in Sullivan.
Researchers are looking at the Lewiston mass shooter's brain. The state medical examiner's office says it's being done because of Robert Card's time in the military. Mal Meyer explains what the suspect did that could have impacted his brain.
As recently as July, Card went with his reserve unit for annual training in New York. An Army spokesperson now confirms to CBS 13 News during the summers he was a trainer in hand grenades with West Point cadets. Citing unnamed soldiers who worked with Card, the New York Times reports his role could have exposed him to thousands of blasts. How prevalent are head injuries within the U.S. military system?
Well, they're very prevalent.
Dr. Tom McAllister is with the Indiana University School of Medicine and the CARE Consortium. The group has worked with tens of thousands of college athletes and members of the military, looking at the impact of concussions.
In the past, people viewed mild brain injury as almost a non-event. With a uniformly good prognosis, people were expected to recover.
The Maine Medical Examiner's Office says part of Card's brain was given to Boston University's CTE Center. They researched the disorder linked to head trauma.
Folks who go on to be diagnosed with CTE, they often have changes in mood, emotions, and behavioral control.
The Lewiston mass shooting suspect reportedly heard voices that accused him falsely of being a pedophile. Dr. McAllister says right now, diagnosing CTE requires inspecting someone's brain after they die. Experts may soon be able to do that while someone's still alive.
They're not necessarily ready for prime time yet.
A Boston University representative declined to comment, citing a privacy policy. The ME's office says that results may be available in 6 to 8 months.
And that was Mal Meyer reporting. The Hancock County Sheriff's Office budget is getting a big boost from the county as they continue to face staffing issues. However, there seems to be some contention between the office and the county commissioners. Our Grace Blanchard explains.
The Hancock County Sheriff's Office is receiving a nearly 18% budget increase from $1.9 million to $2.3 million for the upcoming year, which the county hopes will help as state police pull back their patrol coverage throughout the county.
We used to have a 50-50 agreement, and that agreement is now that we do 2/3 and they do 1/3. Very slim pool of people out there getting into law enforcement and applying for law enforcement. You have to obviously have a competitive wage and benefit package.
The sheriff's office says the additional money will primarily be used to increase wages as well as pay for overtime and officer training. Sheriff Kane says more than anything, he needs positions filled.
I did not end up with any new additional personnel in my patrol division or as detectives.
On top of that, he says he is concerned with the state of the Drug Task Force program, which he says is short-staffed due to prior funding cuts.
The budget committee wanted to fund positions in there, but the commissioners cut them. So in this day and age, with the amount of drugs that are on the street, we should have agents down there. We should.
According to the Hancock County Commissioners, there has been no decrease in the level of support for the program, and they remain dedicated to supporting the staffing issues. Commissioner William Clark said in a statement, quote, "For the 2024 budget year, we commissioners have informed the MDEA that if they fund, hire, and train the 4th agent, we will fund the 5th one, provided an officer gets assigned to the task force and is up and fully operational."
We just assure the citizens of Hancock County that we will respond to their complaints in a timely manner, and we will do everything we can with funds that we have.
Grace Blanchard reporting for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Penobscot County Healthcare will be expanding its school-based health centers to 3 Old Town schools on January 24th. Our Doug Banks has that story.
When you have good people who are centered on helping families and kids, that you can't lose.
Thanks to a $700,000 grant from the Health Resources and Services Administration, PCHC will be expanding their school-based health centers to Old Town High School, J.A. Leonard Middle School, and Old Town Elementary School.
The full clinic for Old Town will be located in the elementary school, and then in that middle school and high school, we'll providing mental health only on site.
For middle and high schoolers who seek treatment outside of mental health, transportation will be provided.
Families would bring their student down, or we would work with the school to find transportation for that student.
By January, there will be 6 total clinics in the greater Bangor area.
74% of our utilization at school-based health is for mental health services. One of the biggest misconceptions of a school-based health center is we don't take over primary care for students. We work alongside students and families' primary care physicians.
In 2006, Brewer High School was the first school to have this type of clinic, followed by Bangor High School 2 years ago.
As it expands in the district, and I think certainly Old Town will find the same thing, that it's a resource that is needed and can be really helpful to kids and families.
For more information about the clinic's operations, visit pchc.com. In Bangor, Doug Banks, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Millions of dollars in aid is coming to Maine from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration to help improve data and research on endangered North Atlantic right whales. And that could help protect Maine's lobster industry from further cuts. Governor Janet Mills and Department of Marine Resources Commissioner Patrick Kelleher made the announcement today, saying Maine has received roughly $17,252,000 from NOAA. The money comes from the Consolidated Appropriations Act passed by Congress in December of 2022, which established a fund for states with lobster fisheries. The lack of data on right whale presence and fishing effort in the Gulf of Maine means current models are rife with uncertainty, and yet those models are used by the federal government to determine the risk of serious injury and mortality to right whales by lobster gear. This funding will allow DMR to expand research and improve the assessment of risk to right whales posed by fixed gear fisheries in advance of future federal rulemaking. Governor Mills said, quote, "These funds will ensure that federal regulators can no longer burden this vital industry with management decisions based on poor data that threaten the livelihoods of thousands of Mainers," end quote. For his part, Commissioner Kelleher commented, quote, "The goal of this research is to collect data that tells us what is happening in the Gulf of Maine so we can be protective of whales in a way that doesn't devastate Maine's critically important lobster industry," end quote.
The Bangor Police Department has made it easier for people to get in touch with them with the launch of their new app. People can now submit anonymous tips along with pictures and video. After submitting a tip, people can chat anonymously with an officer to share any additional details. Sergeant Jason McCambly says this will allow the department to share important information with officers in real time.
Well, these anonymous tips that come in can be extremely advantageous for us. We can get a little bit more information and we can get it out there very, very quickly to the officers who are responding.
You can find the app by searching Bangor Police Department in the App Store or Google Play.
Well, switching gears now, this weekend's storm brought heavy gusts and rain to Maine, impacting everything from businesses to, of course, our roadways. Matthew Juronsik has the details.
Mother Nature did not hold back in drenching Maine with rain this weekend.
So there's been a lot of crashes, especially on Route 3, Route 1A, Route 1. Those are busy roads, and obviously the weather impacts driving conditions.
The National Weather Service in Caribou projects that Penobscot County could get between 3 to 4 inches of rain based on location. The rain that fell brought many challenges, including washed out roads and stranded vehicles. I am in ankle-deep water along what was part of Bald Mountain Road here in Orland. Patrolman Barnes says the best thing to do if you see a road washed out like this is to simply not drive through it.
If you see a road washed out like this, just to stop and make sure that your vehicle can actually make it through or not. Obviously, larger trucks can probably handle the water levels, but smaller cars like we've seen drive through here that are now disabled obviously don't have the clearance to make it through the water.
Ellsworth Police Captain Sean Willey cautions that while generators can also help us with weather storms like this, operating them requires caution.
Don't run your generator inside, keep it away from your house when you're running it, and just make sure you have plenty of food and water on hand so that you can stay put.
Matthew Juronsik, ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
So certainly a really wet day out there, and still seeing the impacts of that even late into tonight. A lot of places, I'm sure, still a little flooded as well.
Well, the real danger too, or is it one of the real dangers, is that of course we're going to have cold temperatures overnight.
Yes.
So let's get a first check of our forecast and see what's coming our way.
Thank you so much. All right, guys. Wow, what a rainy last 24, even 36 hours. A little bit of snow up north Quebec. Once again, got hammered with a lot of snow. No surprises there. Back-to-back storms there, producing a lot of snowfall, especially north of Bangor. Wind speeds outside at the moment are at around 5 miles per hour here in town. 5 right by the coast as well. Rockland is at 10. Look at Greenville, though. A little pocket of stronger winds. Our friends up there, 18 mile per hour sustained winds. Of course, wind gusts are closer to 30 to 35 miles per hour. Now, small craft advisories posted till around 7 p.m. on Tuesday. I'm not going to be surprised if that gets extended a little bit more. Cold air is back in the area now. The Northeast has cooled down. 50s, 60s are long gone. You could say goodbye to those for now. Overnight tonight, we're going to continue to cool off. Temperatures will be back in those low to mid 20s.
All right, so definitely below freezing, so travel going to be a concern tomorrow.
Absolutely.
All
Watch out for that ice out there. Still to come on Fox 22 News at 10, we'll tell you about ongoing efforts to keep Donald Trump off of Maine's primary election ballot.
And another Republican presidential hopeful suing the Secretary of State's office after they were left off Maine's primary ballot. The stories and more coming up.
I have moderate to severe Crohn's disease. Now there's Skyrizi.
Things are looking up, I've got symptom relief. Control of my Crohn's means everything to me. Control is everything to me.
Feel significant symptom relief at 4 weeks with Skyrizi, including less abdominal pain and fewer bowel movements. Skyrizi is the first IL-23 inhibitor that can deliver remission and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. And the majority of people experience long-lasting remission at 1 year.
Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, had a vaccine, or plan to. Liver problems may occur in Crohn's disease.
Now's the time to ask your gastroenterologist how you can take control of your Crohn's with Skyrizi.
Control is everything to me.
Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
Football fans, with the Caesars Sportsbook app, you can be in the game all the time. Seeking instant action? Quick Picks offers you the most popular games and markets, already built for you and ready to bet. Experience the thrill when you stack your bets to create a super parlay. Build bets for your favorite teams and players across multiple games. This season, don't just watch the game. Download Caesars Sportsbook and experience the game like never before.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the visions of celebrating with family and friends this holiday season. Give the perfect gift to get you where you need to be all year long with Milwaukee tools for any job. Milwaukee's impact driver and ratchet sets will get you up and going, and receive a free M12 battery instantly when you buy an impact driver and ratchet set at any of Coastal Auto Parts' 29 locations. Coastal Auto Parts is owned and operated by a Maine family that cares.
Catch 2 nights of Masked Singer magic.
It's the holiday sing-along.
And the last group final.
I have goosebumps. Unbelievable.
It all starts Tuesday on Fox.
Hello, I'm Emma Smith, and coming up on Good Morning Maine, we'll hear the latest data on the state of Maine's emergency medical services. And Maine Preservation has released their list of the 7 most endangered places here in Maine. We'll show you a few of those in Hancock County. Plus, we'll check in with the progress of the Wreaths Across America convoy. These stories and more coming up on Good Morning Maine.
Maine lawmakers are considering a privacy law to give you the option to stop your personal information from being tracked, collected, and sold. As Brad Rogers found, private information is constantly being collected from your computers and cell phones.
Right now, every website you visit is being tracked.
There are trackers on all of those websites, sending information back to Facebook, Google, about everything we do online.
Trackers even go so far as to listen in on your private conversations.
Their phone and their devices are capturing their words and selling it basically for advertising without their permission.
Lawmakers say data brokers then create a file on you and sell that information. They say the only way to stop it is for Maine to do what a dozen other states have already done, pass a privacy law.
This would largely prohibit that practice because if companies can't use that for targeted advertising, there's less of a motivation to collect that information.
It's very complex.
State Senator Lisa Keim is sponsoring one privacy bill which would not only give Mainers the option of stopping the collection of their data, but the option to view and erase what's already been collected.
If you want to have a right to delete your information, if you don't know where it's been shared with, then there's no way to do that. So I've also added that into the bill.
State Representative Maggie O'Neill is sponsoring another bill which would only allow the collection and transfer of data that is, quote, reasonably necessary and proportionate.
Mainers deserve these kinds of protections no matter what kind of company they're interacting with. My hope is that it will protect as much of our personal information as possible so that we get consistent protections no matter what we're doing online.
And not be allowed to sell that information either.
Definitely not, yeah, because that would violate our expectations as consumers.
New at 6, how easy it could be under a privacy law to stop companies from collecting and selling your personal data.
And that was Brad Rogers reporting. Meanwhile, a group of Mainers is trying to get former President Donald Trump removed from the 2024 Maine Republican primary ballot. Our Augusta reporter Corey Bouchard spoke with two of the individuals to learn more.
Trump's a traitor, and we shouldn't allow a traitor to run for president of the United States.
Ethan Strimley and Tom Saviello are two former Maine lawmakers that filed a challenge with Secretary of State Shenna Bellows regarding former President Donald Trump's access to the 2024 presidential primary. They're claiming that Trump is disqualified to run for political office due to the 14th Amendment, which states no person can hold public office that is engaged in an insurrection.
And I looked at January 6th and watched that unfold on TV, as many of us did. And anybody who says it's not an insurrection really didn't watch. Hundreds of people were hurt. People died because of that. And Trump was egging them on.
Strimling, a Democrat, and Saviello, a Republican turned independent, both say this is not a partisan issue, but one that is purely about qualifications for office.
Whether somebody commits treason against their country, whether somebody incites an insurrection, and hopefully all of us can agree that whether this person was a progressive, whether they were a centrist, or whether they're an alt-right white supremacist, they ought to not be allowed to run for president of the United States.
I'm waiting. I'm sure I'm going to be criticized by some of the Republicans that are out there, but the ones I know who will tell me that they're quietly glad I did this. I mean, a lot of people don't want Trump. A lot of Republicans don't want Trump.
Their challenge is similar to other challenges being placed in 36 other states and will be heard by Secretary Bellows in a hearing scheduled for Friday morning at 10 a.m. If Secretary Bellows rules in their favor, Trump's name would not appear on the primary ballot in March 2024.
Our hope is that she will stand on the shoulders of Mainers like James Blaine and Joshua Chamberlain and these heroes who helped to draft this amendment, helped to support this amendment back in the mid-1800s. Nobody should be allowed on that ballot who is clearly disqualified for that seat. And Donald Trump is one of those individuals.
We reached out to the Trump campaign and did not immediately receive a response. In Augusta, I'm Corey Bouchard for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
Meanwhile, another Republican presidential hopeful is suing Maine Secretary of State. Former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie is suing Secretary of State Shenna Bellows to appeal a decision denying him a spot on the Republican primary ballot. According to the Secretary of State, Christie fell more than 1,100 signatures short of the 2,000 signature requirement needed to qualify for the March 5th primary. In an appeal filed last week, Christie says they had submitted more than 3,100 signatures, but that he was denied because of what they say is an administrative procedural requirement. We reached out to the Christie campaign and did not immediately receive a response. Secretary of State Shenna Bellows issued the following statement regarding the lawsuit. She said, quote, Maine law is clear that presidential candidates must submit at least 2,000 signatures from registered Maine voters of the same party certified by the municipality. Maine has excellent election administrators, and I am confident that the petitions presented by the Christie campaign were properly rejected under the law, end quote.
In other news tonight, Wreaths Across America made a stop at the State House today. As part of an annual tradition, Wreaths Across America held a ceremony at all 50 state capitals, as well as U.S. territories like Puerto Rico and Guam. Those stops happen at exactly noon local time, and the events include a prayer and speeches before a wreath-laying ceremony. Wreaths Across America's motto is Remember, Honor, Teach, which organizers say is more important now than ever.
Well, I think it's really important so that people recognize that freedom is not free. And without the sacrifices some of these people have made when they served and have served, and like I said, some of them made the ultimate sacrifice, we need to keep that, remember. And then at the same time, honor those. And let's teach the young today what this is all about, so they don't forget.
Wreaths Across America started their yearly escort of wreaths this past Sunday in Harrington and will continue to make its journey down Route 1 before reaching Arlington National Cemetery in Virginia to honor fallen service members with a wreath-laying ceremony.
And still to come on the 10 p.m. news on Fox 22, Israel's defense minister pushes back against international calls to wrap up the country's military offensive in the Gaza Strip.
And the spokesperson for Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny says he is missing from the Russian prison he was serving time in. Those stories and more as the 10 p.m. news on Fox 22 continues.
Who likes to drink good coffee? At Carabassa Coffee Company, we roast premium quality coffee beans from all over the world. Roasted to perfection in small batches, our coffee is always fresh. We offer a large selection, including our specialty blends, organics, single origins, decaf, and flavor. Whether you like light, medium, or dark roasts, we have coffee to suit every taste. We offer flat rate shipping for online orders, and we ship fast. Carabassa Coffee Company. Drink good coffee.
Don't get cold feet this winter. Stay warm and dry with high-performance footwear from Comfort Shoes and More. With an extensive selection of winter boots rated from 0 to minus 60 degrees Fahrenheit, you'll find comfort in knowing your feet will be warm in any weather. Discover the latest in functional and fashionable footwear with grippers built right into the sole. With boots in stock up to 6E and size 17 for men and women. Take the drive to Newport for a sit and fit to find your perfect fit. You and your feet will be glad you did.
Did you know that it's possible to buy the wrong type of flooring for your home? Whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or professional contractor, the experts at Don DeKalb Mainwood Floors are here to help, offering solid pro advice from choosing the right material and color to installation. Don DeKalb features the highest quality hardwood flooring sourced from lumber right here in Maine, from Maine traditions. Not only will you get a floor you'll love, you'll get a floor that will last. Don DeKalb Mainwood Floors, buy from the best, forget the rest.
Family owned and operating in the Bangor area for more than 10 years. Crosby's Welding is here to help you. We specialize in steel, stainless steel, and aluminum welding and fabrication. We serve many of the local industries from Maine lobstermen to the commercial trucking industry and everything in between. Fully mobile on-site construction services right down to custom signs and fire pits. Fast, friendly, reliable service. Give us a call today for a free estimate, 974-7815.
Santa Claus is coming to town, and he's making special stops here at ABC7 and Fox 22's morning show before the big night. Starting in December, Santa will be here reading your children's emails and letters. Have your kids send their message to Santa by emailing santa@wvii.com or by sending it to our mailing address at 371 Target Industrial Circle in Bangor. And make sure to watch Good Morning Maine on ABC7 and Fox 22 to see what Santa has to say.
There's one number you need to know. It's called Joe.
Israel's defense minister is pushing back against international calls to wrap up the country's military offensive in the Gaza Strip. He says the current phase of the operation against the Hamas militant group will take time. Fox's Nate Foy is in northern Israel with an update on the fighting and the global reaction to it.
Israel is facing more international pressure, accused of reportedly using U.S.-provided white phosphorus munitions in an attack that injured civilians last month in southern Lebanon.
The IDF and the entire security establishment operate according to international law.
The U.S. State Department calls the report concerning and promises to learn more.
There is legitimate military use for white phosphorus, but that does not include using them on civilians.
IDF Chief of Staff Herzi Halevi said the country is ready for a full-scale war with Hezbollah if needed. Artillery units like this are used to fire shells across the border into Lebanon and strike Hezbollah targets where attacks originate from. This is a former Hezbollah ammunition warehouse. The Israeli strike caused a chain reaction explosion. Hezbollah operates immediately across Israel's border, in direct violation of a 2006 UN resolution from the end of the Second Lebanon War. Israel now promises to push Hezbollah back.
There is a military way to do this, the beginning of which is also what you are doing here, to damage, to deter, to kill Hezbollah.
In central Israel, Hamas rockets struck the city of Hulon, outside Tel Aviv. In Gaza, Hamas terrorists fight Israeli soldiers from homes, schools, and places of worship. Israel reports some Hamas fighters are surrendering as the IDF cements full control of Palestine Square in Gaza City. But the humanitarian crisis worsens.
The people are just sleeping on the concrete.
For every person in the Gaza Strip, nowhere is safe. Tomorrow, the UN General Assembly is set to vote on a resolution demanding an immediate humanitarian ceasefire in Gaza. Last week, the U.S. vetoed a UN Security Council resolution demanding the same thing. In northern Israel, Nate Foy, Fox News.
The Kremlin's most prominent opposition leader, Alexei Navalny, is missing from Russia's prison system. Navalny's spokeswoman said Monday that she was told by staff at the penal colony where he was serving his sentence that Navalny was no longer among the inmates and refused to reveal his whereabouts. Navalny was sentenced in August to an additional 19 years in prison on charges of extremism, on top of 11 and a half years he was already serving. The 47-year-old Navalny was due to be transferred to a special security penal colony, a facility with the highest security level in the Russian penitentiary system. National Security spokesman John Kirby said the White House is deeply concerned about this situation.
Lawmakers on Capitol Hill are diving into the border crisis this week, hoping to cut a deal that could include funding for both border security and Ukraine. Fox's Aisha Hasni has more from Capitol Hill.
The crisis at the southern border has reached a breaking point. Last week, Customs and Border Protection reported 12,000 migrant encounters in a single day, a new record. And as the surge intensifies, negotiations towards finding a political solution are ramping up here on Capitol Hill. Lead Democrat negotiator Chris Murphy says the White House will be, quote, more engaged with the talks after President Biden claimed he's willing to make significant compromises in exchange for more aid for Ukraine.
We don't want to shut off the United States of America, but we are willing to talk about tightening some of the rules so that you don't have 10,000 people arriving a day.
The Congressional Hispanic Caucus is now demanding a seat at the table, afraid the president will cave to Republicans, and even some suggesting that he may have lost negotiating power when he offered to cut a deal.
The Republicans hold the power position right now. They better not relent it. They better hold fast and make sure they do not let up.
Despite the political divide, some lawmakers are confident a deal can be reached if they can keep the focus on national security.
We have to put the politics aside, and we got to put our communities, we got to put Americans above everything else.
And one of the sticking points in negotiations is asylum. Republicans believe the process is broken and needs to be fixed. On Capitol Hill, I'm Aisha Hasni, Fox News.
And still to come on Fox 22 News at 10, a number of historic buildings in Hancock County are in danger of being lost. We'll tell you about efforts to preserve them.
And in sports, Hamden boys hockey is looking for their third straight regional finals appearance. We'll be right back.
Snake Oil season finale is to die for. Zombie party.
I want it to be real.
They better really be dead. All new Snake Oil, Wednesday on Fox.
Oh no! Son of a nutcracker. This is what I get for eating all those cookies. Hey, Rotor, I got a big clog for you. I'm stuck in the chimney. Again. Yep, I'm the clog. Any chance you could fa-la-la over here?
For all your holiday plumbing needs, Roto-Rooter can save the day.
And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Are your gutters weighed down by debris causing them to sag and overflow? I'm Tony Hafford with TC Hafford Basement Systems. Clogged gutters lead to costly repairs for your home, so skip the cleaning and stop the clogs with Gutter Shutter. Gutter Shutter, the world's best gutter, is a high-performance gutter with a lifetime no-clog guarantee. Stop the clutter, get Gutter Shutter. Call TC Hafford Basement Systems today for all things basementy.
Come bowl a few games here at Bangor Brewer Bowling Lanes. We're one of the only candlepin bowling alley centers in Maine, conveniently located in the heart of Brewer. You always have the opportunity to simply bowl for fun. However, you can also join a league. We have youth leagues, adult and senior leagues. Now don't forget, we also host birthday parties for under $100, and gift certificates are also available. Give us a call right away at 989-3798 to make reservations for your birthday party today.
Season's greetings from Top Notch Detailing in Herman. Happy holidays from TB Equipment and Rental, your full-service Hyundai construction equipment dealer. Merry Christmas from Jackson's Automotive. We have the automotive expertise that you're looking for.
For the first time, the Maine Association of Broadcasters named a television station of the year for excellence. ABC7 and Fox 22 are honored to be the very first station awarded this achievement.
Pressure is growing on the presidents of Harvard and MIT following the resignation of the leader at the University of Pennsylvania. It follows the uproar over their comments to Congress during a hearing about campus anti-Semitism. Fox's Brian Yennis has the latest tonight from New York.
There are growing calls for Harvard to fire its president, Claudine Gay, accused of fostering an unsafe environment for Jewish students after failing last week to unequivocally say that calls for the genocide of Jews violate the school's code of conduct.
It can be, depending on the context.
Calls for Gay's removal come after the University of Pennsylvania's president, Liz McGill, resigned over the weekend following similar comments on Capitol Hill. In a report not independently corroborated by Fox News, Gay is also being accused of plagiarizing multiple sections of her 1997 PhD thesis. In a statement to the Boston Globe, Gay says, "I stand by the integrity of my scholarship. Throughout my career, I have worked to ensure my scholarship adheres to the highest academic standards." About half of Harvard's faculty, some 700 members, are now urging Harvard's governing boards not to fire Gay, writing in a letter, quote, "The critical work of defending a culture of free inquiry in our diverse community cannot proceed if we let its shape be dictated by outside forces." Critics claim there's a double standard at Harvard. Curious how a school ranked dead last nationwide in a 2024 college free speech ranking has allowed anti-Semitic protests to continue unabated.
There's a clear double standard for Jews. I mean, let's be real. If any other group was, facing calls for genocide against them, would the response be nothing? Would the response be muted?
Congress says universities are on notice amid a new report that Stanford University's anti-Semitism co-chair aligned with anti-Israel groups and concluded anti-Semitism was not a problem on campuses in a 2017 paper.
We're going to subpoena their records, their emails, any documents, anything that proves that these universities aren't creating a safe environment for their Jewish students.
In New York City, Brian Yennis, Fox News.
In other news, at least half a dozen are dead, and the recovery effort is ramping up after central Tennessee got hit with a series of tornadoes over the weekend. Fox Weather's Robert Ray has more.
It just sounded like an explosion went off. You could hear stuff flying everywhere. It was crazy.
Emergency crews and first responders are out in force in central Tennessee, 2 days after the area was pummeled with at least 13 tornadoes. The damage is catastrophic. Here in Clarksville, hundreds of homes and businesses are damaged or destroyed. And it's a similar story in neighboring towns and cities, with some residents saying they feel lucky to have survived.
It completely got black, and it was almost like being in a, I don't know, I can explain, like a vacuum cleaner. Things spinning around, it was loud.
But not everyone made it through. The tornadoes caused at least 6 deaths and dozens more were injured. Local officials now working to make sure grieving families have the support they need.
We have a lot of families who are suffering, and our hearts are especially heavy.
And we're expecting this to be a long recovery, especially for these hard-hit neighborhoods. County schools are closed today and tomorrow, and a state of emergency is still in effect for both Clarksville and Nashville. Despite the extensive damage, Clarksville Mayor Joe Pitts says the community is coming together.
There's devastation everywhere, but one thing I love about this city, when there's a need, we rally around that need.
And as recovery efforts continue and the power is being worked on to get restored, officials are asking people to also conserve water here in Clarksville. Reporting on the Kentucky-Tennessee border, Robert Ray, Fox Weather.
Wow, just some shocking images there, and you just hope that people are getting the help they need, and obviously it seems like they're helping out each other, which is great to see.
Certainly a very frightening situation. Our thoughts are most assuredly with them.
Absolutely.
Alrighty, folks, well, our full 5-day is coming right up after the break. Stay with us.
40s and 50s are now gone. Finally, cooler air has made it all the way up into the northeast. Look at this, 30s in Raleigh. How long is this cool air going to stick around? And when are we finally warming back up? I'll have the answers coming up.
Choosing Miracle Ear was a great decision. Like when I decided to host family movie nights. Miracle Ear made it easy. I just booked an appointment, and a certified hearing care professional evaluated my hearing loss and helped me find the right device calibrated to my unique hearing needs. Now I enjoy every moment. The quiet ones and the loud ones.
Make a sound decision. Call now and book your free hearing evaluation.
My father started a roofing company in the 1970s.
Back when asbestos was still commonly used in Maine.
When George was diagnosed with mesothelioma, we knew there wasn't a cure yet, but we knew he needed help.
We called Joe Bornstein's office because this family means business.
Their team is handling everything, representing Mainers who were victims of asbestos exposure.
We highly recommend the law offices of Joe Bornstein.
Call Joe today for a free case evaluation. There's never a fee unless you win.
Quitting smoking, vaping, and other tobacco may be tough, but you can do it. Even if you don't get it right the first time, don't give up. Working with a quit coach increases your chances of successfully quitting, especially combined with quit medications. That's why each quit program through the Maine Quit Link offers free patches, gum, and/or lozenges and helps you build a customized quit plan. Call 1-800-QUIT-NOW or enroll online at mainequitlink.com. It's free and it works.
The best value for your money is only at the Furniture Gallery. And as the end of year approaches, it's time for our end of year blowout sale. where you can save up to 70% off brand name mattresses and furniture. At the Furniture Gallery, we're slashing prices like never before. Quantities are limited and they won't last long, so hurry in and save big. You won't see these savings again, so don't miss your chance to purchase those special items you've been looking for all year. Shop local, save money at the Furniture Gallery in Augusta, Bangor, Newport, and North Windham.
Welcome to the Season 4 finale.
3 teams remain for one epic final build.
The winning team is
Lego Masters Season Finale, Thursday on Fox.
Welcome back, guys. Wow, what a storm we just had. Now, that's long gone, moving out of the area, just a few passing clouds in our region. Look at Quebec, still getting in on a little bit of snow showers. They've been getting really pretty much right in the middle of all of those snow events we've been having the last several weeks. For our area, mainly rain all over the region. Greenville, Millinocket area did receive a little tiny bit of snow on the back end, but now we're going to stay dry the next several days, pretty much right through the week. We're looking at pretty much dry conditions all over the state. Even same thing with the snow, limited to all the way up north. You got to go north of Greenville, north of Millinocket area, right by that border of Canada, and once again into the Quebec area to get into some accumulative snowfall the next several days. Now, on average, this is what it looks like for our white Christmas chances, of course, for the Northeast. Now, we got New York City pretty much at 5 to 10% of having a white Christmas. No surprises there. I lived in New York City for 14 years, and I only remember maybe a couple of white Christmases. Other than that, 40s and 50s, that was kind of the average for Christmas down into New York City. Now, for our region, we're looking at more white, more blue showing up. That's showing probably around 40, let's say 50% chance of seeing a white Christmas overall, though. But this year, it's going to be a little bit warmer, more up and down type of trends. I'm looking at the next couple of weeks, and there will be 40s returning. So the chances of having a little bit of snow are more slim. I would say probably closer to 20%. This is my projection, but we are still 2 weeks away. Things could change just like that. Our average high this time of year is back in those mid-30s. Look at this. For tomorrow, back into Wednesday, near average, below average for Thursday, and then shooting right back up to above average temperatures Friday, Saturday, and then once again into the day on Sunday. Now, the waves are still pretty high up there. They're still cranking up there to well past 10-foot waves. Look at this buoy up here showing over 13-foot waves. Now imagine right about here, these green colors. I would not be surprised if closer to 18-foot waves are still present. Of course, as this low pressure system moves out of the area, all of those waves and everything off the coast will start to become a little bit more calm. For tonight, though, temperatures around 22 degrees, partly cloudy skies. It's going to be breezy. Look at that west wind gusting up to 25 to 30 miles per hour. For tomorrow, temperatures in those mid-30s, mainly sunny skies, a mixture of some clouds and sun with a light breeze. That wind will finally start to go a little bit more calm. Our extended forecast outlook does show 30s Tuesday, Wednesday, and then 20s by Thursday, and then 40s making a return by Friday.
All right, so a little up and down in the temperature department at least, so some variation.
Seeing a little relief during the daytime at least, though, which is always kind of what you like in the winter.
Yeah, it definitely is.
All right.
All right, well, sports is coming right up next. Stay with us.
I'm sorry. I cannot let you in here.
The only thing that should be in a baby crib is a baby. Letting a baby sleep with blankets and toys can be dangerous. Learn how safe sleeping practices can save your baby's life at safesleepforme.org.
Let's face it, getting training and experience is hard, but at Loring Job Corps, we can help. From certifications in automotive technology, obtaining your CDL, or learning building trades, we have you covered. Maybe you prefer joining the high-tech world of computer networking or cybersecurity. We have that as well. Don't delay, get in the driver's seat to your future today. And the best part, Loring Job Corps is free. Receive free training, free meals, and even free housing. Call or go to jobcorps.gov/Loring. Job Corps careers begin here.
Let us put the red tag on your shiny new Chevrolet from Quirk in Bangor. Save over $10,800 on 23 Silverado 1500 RST and buy for $49,995. Or enjoy the holidays by saving over $1,700 on a new 24 Equinox LT. In the market for a pre-owned vehicle, Quirk Motor City has the next certified car, truck, or SUV you're looking for, with over 400 quality used vehicles to choose from. It's your Chevy. Find it at Quirk in Bangor, Portland, and Rockland. Cheers to 50 years.
The holidays are here and scammers are putting in extra hours. Keep these tips in mind. Carefully research any charity prior to making a donation and be selective when giving out banking information. When buying gift cards, stick to stores you know and trust and keep your receipts. When shopping online, look for HTTPS in the address bar to ensure you are on a secure website. Finally, trust your gut. If the deal appears too good to be true, it probably is. With these tips in mind, have a great holiday season from Bangor PD. We'll be here if you need us.
Tonight's Sports is brought to you by Healing Hands Massage in Hamden, providing professional massage services tailored specifically for their clients. Stop by Healing Hands Massage today. You'll thank yourself later.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. Let's start with some hockey. The season getting underway last week for boys high school hockey teams across the state. And for Hamden Academy, they are looking for another run in Class B North. The Broncos finished as the 4 seed last year, but knocked off Camden Hills in a rematch of the 2022 Northern Finals. And then in the semis, they upset John Bapst for another trip to the championship game. They would then fall to Messalonskee in that regional final, but the Broncos have a ton of returning talent, and they've got a lot of experience together, too, and that goes a long way.
Well, I think teamwork, having a lot of friends that we've all grown up with each other. I think we all started playing together when we were like 8 years old. So having that chemistry and, being positive and like hanging out with each other outside of school, that helps out a lot with us.
Our chemistry is there just because we know each other. We've been playing each other forever. So that's a really big part of it, is just we can talk to each other. We can elevate our games based off of each other, and we just make each other better by competing every day.
Come out and practice, we battle with each other, that way we can go to war for each other in the games. Having chemistry is huge because sometimes you don't always have time to look up, see where the other guys are. So being able to know where they're going to be without having to look is always good.
It is never easy to get to 3 straight regional finals, and they know that, but they've had some success these past few seasons, so they also know what works. They know what it takes, and if they want to get back to that game, they'll just have to play the hits.
Some strengths is definitely be like our passing and speed, but we, as a team, we've been playing with each other so far, and we just need to play together. We need to keep the energy up.
Again, just working together, we move the puck really well. Again, we're like a family, and we've all been playing together for super long, and I think that's going to show again this year.
All right, wishing them the best of luck this season. Let's stay on the ice now. And in Orono, after a 2-win week for the University of Maine, Victor Ostman has been named Hockey East's Goalie of the Week. Ostman and the Black Bears grabbed a 3-1 road victory over Union College last Wednesday. Victor stopped 22 of 23 shots on goal that night. And then on Saturday in Portland, Ostman stopped 29 shots in a 3-2 win over Bentley. It's his 3rd Hockey East Goaltender of the Week award this season. Let's move on to some football now. Patrick Mahomes and the reeling Kansas City Chiefs, who have lost 4 of their last 6, will visit Gillette Stadium on Sunday. It's a 1 o'clock kickoff against Bailey Zappi and the Patriots. Despite coming off of their first win in over a month, the Patriots have officially been eliminated from playoff contention. With a 3-10 record, that should not come as a shock to anybody. However, it's the earliest the Pats have been eliminated since 2000. That was Bill Belichick's first year as head coach in New England. Despite all the conversations about his job safety, it seems like Belichick still has the confidence of his guys.
He's done such a good job for this organization, this team for so long. So I'm someone who has not lost sight of what Coach Belichick has meant to this organization, to this league. Certainly haven't lost sight of his accomplishments, and nor soon will I. So.
All right, let's head back to the high school scene now, and we'll go to some basketball action for you. 'Tis the season. Let's get to a Class C girls game here. Over in Bucksport, it's the Lady Bucks taking on the Orono Red Riots. First quarter, the Bucks are on top here. Michaela Miller, no-look pass over to Sam Sear. She knocks down the three ball right there, money from outside. Here are the Bucks again, looking for more off a steal. Jetta Shook takes it down, spots up, and knocks it down. That's another three-pointer there. Bucks would lead after one. To the second quarter we go. Orono on the attack. Great ball movement off of the inbound. Kate Higgins gets blocked, but Abigail Haney is there. She gets it to go with the left hand, but the Bucks would stay in control of this one. Caitlin Flannery on the drive kicks it out to Shook, who knocks down another outside jumper. Bucks go on to win this one 48-38. All right, and for some other scores from around the area in Class C as well, Mattanock over Central girls, 62-44, and Machias girls over Woodland, 47-36. And then in boys, Ellsworth improves to 2-0 on the season, 71-47 over Foxcroft Academy, and Bangor Christian picks up a win, 56-27 over Greenville. All right, that's all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
Do you need to replace your windows, but worry that your project will be hard to schedule and too expensive? Then call Renewal by Andersen, the custom replacement window division of Andersen. Our windows are made with an exclusive Fibrex material that's vastly superior to vinyl and backed by the nation's best warranty. Be sure to ask about our 1-year price lock guarantee to secure a price that's good for 1 full year. Call Renewal by Andersen for your free consultation and a money-saving offer. Installation is always included. Call now.
I have moderate to severe Crohn's disease. Now there's Skyrizi.
Things are looking up. I've got symptom relief. Control of my Crohn's means everything to me. Control is everything to me.
Feel significant symptom relief at 4 weeks with Skyrizi, including less abdominal pain and fewer bowel movements. Skyrizi is the first IL-23 inhibitor that can deliver remission and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. And the majority of people experienced long-lasting remission at 1 year.
Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, had a vaccine, or plan to. Liver problems may occur in Crohn's disease.
Now's the time to ask your gastroenterologist how you can take control of your Crohn's with Skyrizi.
Control is everything to me.
Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
Brandywine Graphics makes it easy. We are the top source for screen printing, embroidery, branded merchandise, and direct-to-garment printing. With 25 years experience, state-of-the-art equipment, and a commitment to excellence, why trust your apparel products with anyone else? And now, Brandywine Graphics can easily launch online stores for your school or organization. Simply design your products from brands like Eddie Bauer, Carhartt, and more. Share the link and we'll do the rest. Like we said, Brandywine Graphics makes it easy. Find out more at brandywinegraphics.com or at our Hamden location.
It's the picture-perfect season.
Gingerbread house.
I mean, this is Dictionary. Yeah. Are you not entertained? For festive family fun.
Oh, eggnog. We ran out of time. Ooh, Orlando looks confident.
Hot chocolate?
Hot chocolate. Gabrielle even gave us the season.
Watch all new episodes.
Ski
Lodge.
Ski Lodge.
Ski Lodge is correct. Pictionary every weekday.
Weekdays at 10 on Fox 22.
It's the new celebrity guessing game.
Who is the celebrity behind the relative?
That could win you life-changing money.
You got it right.
We Are Family, January 3rd on Fox.
Well, folks, award season is getting started, and nominees for the 2024 Golden Globe Awards are out. Here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin.
Best Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy.
It's a Barbie world at the Golden Globe nominations. The billion-dollar movie leads the way with a top tally of 9 nods total.
Our imaginings horrify us.
Proving the Barbenheimer phenomenon continues, the biopic Oppenheimer is next with 8. Barbie is up for Best Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy, along with Air, American Fiction, The Holdovers, May, December, and Poor Things. Joining Oppenheimer in the Best Motion Picture Drama category are Anatomy of a Fall, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Past Lives, and The Zone of Interest.
plenty on my plate.
The Roys go into the Globes with the most nominations in TV. Succession leads for the small screen with 9, including a nod for Best Drama Series. Other nominees include 1923, The Crown, The Diplomat, The Last of Us, and The Morning Show.
It is time to get this party started.
Hit series up for Best Musical or Comedy are Abbott Elementary, Barry, The Bear, Jury Duty, Only Murders in the Building, and Ted Lasso. This year, there are 2 new categories. A trophy will be given for Best Stand-Up Comedian on Television, where contenders are Ricky Gervais, Trevor Noah, Chris Rock, Amy Schumer, Sarah Silverman, and Wanda Sykes.
This is the best day ever.
On the big screen, cinematic and box office achievement is being awarded, and both Barbie and Oppenheimer are up for that honor. Blockbusters joining them are Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, John Wick Chapter 4, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, the Super Mario Bros. Movie, and Taylor Swift, The Eras Tour. The 81st Golden Globes air live January 7th on its new network, CBS, and stream on Paramount+. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
Are you feeling like Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, and Vixen with Christmas deliveries? The U.S. Postal Services has some reminders for you. The Postal Service says if you're doing 5-day shipping with USPS Ground Advantage and First Class Mail, Friday, December 16th is the cutoff day. If you use 4-day shipping, you can mail until December 18th to count on parcels getting under the Christmas tree on time. And if you're waiting to count down time for Priority Mail Express, you've got until Thursday, December 21st. The last scheduled day for regular USPS delivery is Saturday, December 23rd, and there's no regular mail delivery on Monday, Christmas Day.
Definitely some important dates and deadlines to keep in mind. Well, finally tonight, many of Maine's historic buildings are unfortunately falling into disrepair. Maine Preservation releases a new list of the most endangered historic places in Maine each year, and 3 of the 7 on this year's list happen to be located in Hancock County. Our Jody Hersey has more.
The house was built in 2 stages in 1796 and 1814. Fisher built it himself.
Brad Emerson is referring to the Jonathan Fisher House in Blue Hill. This 2-story home was handcrafted by Harvard graduate Jonathan Fisher, Blue Hill's first congregational minister.
There are very few houses as well documented. You know, we know what days he bought the nails, the day he blew out the foundation, the day friends came and helped him raise the frame.
This historic home has not been occupied since 1915 when the 2 remaining grandchildren moved to Missouri. However, it remained in the family until the 1950s. Due to rot and deterioration, this 207-year-old home is one of 3 Hancock County locations to make it onto Maine Preservation's 2023 list of most endangered historic places. Demanda's Bowling Alley in Ellsworth is another place on the list.
So the actual pin setters out back are the oldest known to be around, so they're from 1949.
Autumn Mowry used to be a lane mechanic at the Candlepin Bowling Alley. Now she is the sole owner.
The first and only goal of me taking over was to save it.
The Winter Harbor Historical Society Museum is another site in Hancock County making the list. The building is a former schoolhouse that was deeded to the Historical Society for Preservation in 1976. Now its uneven floors, structural flaws, and other necessary repairs could cost around $400,000 to bring it back to its glory. To see the other locations on the 2023 list of Maine's most endangered historic places, log on to mainepreservation.org. In Blue Hill, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Wow, there's so much history and character with each of those buildings.
Yeah.
They each have their own identity that
Their
is so
own
unique.
stories, yeah, absolutely. But unfortunately, they all need a lot of really expensive work, so it's definitely going to be some tough decision making there.
Yeah, absolutely. And you just hope that they can do as much as they can to preserve.
Find a way.
Yeah, as many of them as they can.
All right, folks, that is going to do it for us. Take care and good night.
Good night, everyone.